Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 652. Today we'll be doing battle with Dooley, and so looking to have this be our last Dooley battle for the next little bit. I'm excited to switch back to playing Vanessa, but it's been a couple of weeks since I played Vanessa. I got to get a little bit of reps in before we go back down that path. Got to figure out how to find Crow's Nest every single game, and so life can be tough there, I'm sure. Trebuchet and Crow's Nest, here we go. But all right, what's up with this Dooley run? What do we got here? And so it's just the standard core, the companion core, and the weaponized core. And so I'm going to pick up the companion core here. It's going to put us in a lizard build, but I have been wanting to try and showcase the lizard build that I've liked running here in recent times that's looking to take advantage of Dinosaur. And so we'll see if we're able to put it together, see if anything interesting comes along in our lizard-based journeys, or perhaps we don't even go for the lizard this game. Who knows? Who knows what could turn up in any given battle with Bust. And so, as things kick off, not a lot of great stuff here at the start. Might as well just go to Cell's items. There's not a ton of bronze level skills I'm super interested in picking up. Copper Ed is, of course, going to be a great start, a real build around component to going for the lizard. And then I think we should just roll and try and fill out the rest of this board space. Hopefully, we can find another friend or something useful. And so while this turns up, that's okay. He's not a particularly strong friend, but some friends are better than no friends, right? We don't want to just be sitting out here all by ourselves, and so he'll be a reasonable addition. And so with this, let's just go ahead and fight the Haunted Kimono. I don't think we actually beat the Poison Fang. Our poison should be too slow, and having two shield items doesn't do anything to help stop the poison from killing you, and so we can take the guaranteed win here. I think, since we aren't really looking to play duct tape, right? If you want duct tape for like a Harmadillo or something, then we could go after the Banana Bowl, but I think with our start here, without having first Aiden just yet, we prefer to get these shield enhancers as opposed to a heal enhancer. It's all about the enhancements. All right, battle coming through, poison stacking up, winds coming in. See what we can get. What you got, friend? Silk? All right, that's a thing, I guess. But moving on to the next set, we are going to try and turbo level up our experience as much as we can. It is, a little tempting to go immediately to Isla and look for that dinosaur, but that's a little bit greedy to me. And so we'll pick up the experience points, try to get to the max width board as fast as we can. The level up here out of the Lost Crate will get us to level 2. As we go into the next round. No telling if we'll be able to fill the board out, but getting those bonus experience points is still good. It looks like we're going to want to pick the upgrade your leftmost bronze tier. It's otherwise cooldown, income, shields, or tool cooldown. So we'll go ahead and upgrade the core. All right, up to battle against a level 1 Pygmalion. Let's see who brings that heat the best. The Pygmalion. I didn't get to do any Pygmalion battles to where I got to showcase taking like the Pig upgrade early. I've been really impressed with Pig taking the like random Pig level up bonuses in the early game, and just carrying it through like day 4, day 5 until you get like your crooks online and stuff. It's been very, very powerful. The scaling comes quite quick when it's relevant here in the early game. But up to battle here. I think we should be fine in this one. The poison is starting to stack up. The 20 damage from the Regal Blade, not quite enough to outscale our Wallace down here, generating those big shield booms. And so once this sandstorm rolls through, pretty sure we're going to be in good shape with this one. Okay, good stuff. Give us the victory. Let's just retire it right now, Keep that 100% win rate. Can't lose if you don't play, am I right? Can't lose if you don't play. And so, all right, well, I do really enjoy Kev's Armory. I've been going on in the recent videos about how sweet it can be when you find a unit that's accidentally boosted with shield, but this is a little bit too early to go to Kev's Armory, especially when there's a experience point node out here on the map. And so we'll study the site, get the bonus. Same deal here. We can either go to the Strange Mushroom and get 1 experience point or study for 1 experience point. Let's go for the Strange Mushroom, keep it for the luck, as the thing says. And with this set of battles, I think we can beat. I know we can beat the left two, the Mosquito and the Covetous Thief. It's probably a little too greedy to go after the Rogue Scrapper, since he does scale up his attack power quite a bit. I think we'll just actually try and take down the giant Mosquito here. There's nothing like too spectacular out of the Rogue Scrapper for this kind of build, right? If you high roll the weapon skill, it just doesn't do anything with the friend builds. If you high roll shield, like late game, you tend to just have like 1 or 2 shield units and don't really care about it. And so I think it's probably fine to go here and just try and grab some of this cooldown reduction, or if you have rush and we do start with like a Dianosaur, getting that round start rush with the lizard on board, immediately poisoning and stuff. Not a bad way to start off the day. All right, though. The sandstorm rolling through, getting us that victory. GG, my friend. What you got? Proboscis. Nobody wants that. Get that shit out of here. So what do we got here? Shields, some money, burn cooldown, loot items, or get a tool. Not the greatest set. I'm leaning towards just taking loot items so we can try and bank up a handful of poisons if they want to turn up. All sharpening stones. The game just trying to tell us to go proboscis, huh? Stack all this nonsense up on the proboscis and see what you can do. But not happening today, not here. And so with this, we only have 3 nodes left before we get to the next hero shop. I do really like going to places like Mountain Pass that give the gold and the experience point, but like our build is very weak here. As we go to the next battle, like Silk is not a real item within this build. Wallace is not particularly good, and so it's like we're only using half of the space we have on the board here. So I think I'm going to give up on the Mountain Pass for the round. Do a little bit of getting good now as much as we can. Walter Cooler is kind of whatever. He is a friend at least. First Aiden is big, and then the Omega Ray for some scaling. That was a pretty good set of items to pick up here. Feels much more worth than a single experience point, when that experience point's not going to push us up to level before the next PvP round. So that's good. Let's go to the weapons, see if we can't pick up a dinosaur while we're at it. I'm not going to go for the combat core. We'll continue to roll. I'm not entirely certain if the dinosaur can turn up at this particular juncture, but picking up the red ray is still going to be pretty decent. Give us a way to attack down these Dooleys in the upcoming round. So that looks pretty decent, right? The positioning of our units, I guess, does matter. We've got Walter in here. Let's put Walter next to the core and the first Aiden, and the rest of them don't matter. So it's okay, right? We got a little bit of scaling going into the round. We don't have a lizard just yet, but this looks pretty powerful on day 2. Oh, this guy's he's stacked on the poison skills, but hasn't found any poison things yet. Bit greedy, my friend. A bit greedy. Okay, get that KO. And so yeah, it's like as times have passed, I initially kind of really subscribed to losing in the early rounds doesn't matter. It's not to say that it like taking a loss on day 1, day 2, day 3 is not a big deal, but I really like it as we get to the later rounds when the builds have the opportunity to be a little bit more obnoxious, to ideally have as much prestige as we can, so you can just kind of soak up a loss against a bad round. I think we're still okay here. Jesus, that game feels like it went way too close, taking the opponent down at neg 27 to our only 6 health. But if like you're drafting well and things are going okay and your build is coming together, you're going to get to the late game and probably just get sniped by something obnoxious, like some dum-dum accidentally got an icy lizard, or some dum-dum got together like the full diamond ammo Vanessa build or something, and you just lose. And it is what it is. But it's still being on that quest to 10 wins, having that like little bit of buffer from not losing in the early rounds feels nice. And then on round 10, you're much less likely to face some obnoxious bullshit. as you are, like, once people have died and picked up the free enchant and stuff. And so I understand why the opponent there would want to pick up the 2 poison skills. You know, as soon as he does hit that lizard, he's just going to pop off. But until you actually find it, your build's just garbage. But moving forward, what do we got here? We've only got 5 gold on the round. Not a ton of money in the bank or in the bag. Looks like we could pick up 7 if we need to. I think we'll skip the non-weapon items and just take the shitty bonus in the 30 hit points here. Not really excited about it. I'm looking to just pick up the regenerate here as well. The only small item we're really shooting for and really want at this point are going to be the other rays, right? We don't want the alpha ray or the omega ray. We want the poison ray and the ice ray. So we could try and dig them up with Andy. But I think with only $5 at this point, we'll just take the regen and move on. So in this next space, Scout Trooper, again, he seems a little too big for us. Like, maybe we could take the Scout Trooper this time. Like, I know we can beat the Challenger. I don't want to fight the Dabbling Apprentice. He is actually a little bit scary, but the Scout Trooper for that extra experience point is probably too greedy. If we had the full width or a little bit more health, I'd feel a touch better about it. But like, if this was the kind of space to where we say, like, picked up a brick buddy somewhere, something that just gives you that big scaling health spike throughout the battle, I would have probably felt better about going in there. But having all this scaling stuff with the 2 rays and the Wallace and the Walter Cooler, it just feels like you're just asking to get stomped by the Scout Round, whatever he was called, Ammo Boy. Okay, victory unlocked though, hitting all these sandstorms. Getting them little kernels of sand up in our boots. What do we got here? Health, loot items, core cooldown, damage, or friends. We'll take the loot items again. Looks like we picked up crit and then another weapon attack damage. Alright, so in the next set, don't want large items, don't really want a tool. We'll just pick up the experience out of the chest. Hopefully we can upgrade our board here just a little bit. Going into Cell's weapons, would love to find a Dianosaur. That's going to be the big friend that we're looking for here today. Hasn't turned up just yet. Missiles is pretty interesting when we already have 4 sharpening stones in hand along with the Alpha Ray on board. We can afford it. Let's just go ahead and snatch that up. I do want to be coming in and taking a roll here. Let's sell off this garbage we're not going to use. Like the proboscis, the hand axe, those can go. Take the roll and see what turns up. Armadillo. I saw the medium item and I was like, fuck yeah, we're about to pop, and then it was the wrong one. Bummer. But reasonable stuff with the missiles. You know, we might even find ourselves pushing away from the idea of just going after the lizard in this game. So let's see, though. We want to get this crit onto something. Maybe we can just hold on to it at this point. Missiles is something that I envision that we could keep in our build for a while, but I don't think it's going to be here forever. I mean, it is nice having this hasted missiles multicasting every second and a half, getting these extra Walter stacks in, but it feels like something like day 6, day 7, we're going to be sliding out of our build. But we can keep it for now, see what's up. It's reasonable if you ever... Like, this isn't a combat core build. Like, I don't like going combat core with the friend core, but it's very strong, very reasonable, and red core builds, whatever, just like standard core or weaponized core. But we can see what the missiles does here. I mean, if there's a world to where we pick up, like, Race Carl or pick up the crab thing or something, we could definitely stick to weapon damage within this build. I mean, that's where we're kind of directly lined up to, right, with the red ray along with missiles at this point. All right, though, moving forward, what do we got? I'm always interested in the haste items. There is the abandoned crate here. I think the haste items, the high roll potential is just too good. We completely whiffed on here, but like finding a turbo item can be completely strong, or just getting a rando haste item at this stage of the game would be decent. Fairly big miss here. We'll pick the bomb squad because it's a friend. If we do find some reason to pivot over to burn, right? If you have some kind of burn activators in the skill space, it's a very cheap investment to pick this thing up for 2 gold. So we'll go ahead and snatch it up, but we'll leave the thrusters and the Aegis out. Now here, I would love to pick up the monster loot. It's just so free. Like the monster ranch is way overtuned in this game, but we're gonna keep digging. We're gonna we're gonna keep looking for the Dianosaur. Like I'll be damned. We're gonna find it. So let's see. We got Race Carl. This is the one that we just mentioned. Very reasonable in these damage-based builds. Very easy to keep. Very hasty. We'll snatch him up now, just to keep him on board. I mean, it seems like we're just getting further and further away from the lizard, huh? maybe that's just the way the game plays today. All right, so let's add Carl in. It's like I think I'm not 100% certain what the most optimal lineup would be here. But something like this maybe, to where we're getting the bigger charges onto the core, but then just having the single alpha ray and not using the omega ray. The omega ray is, a little interesting once we add bomb squad in, but I don't want to half-ass this too hard, right? I'm fine with the alpha ray with the 2 attacky style units. With this kind of build, I think you would eventually look to do something like this, to where we pull Walter out and put the omega ray back in. But at the moment, I'm fine to keep the scaling up and running and keep it how it is. So with this, let's fight the Boiler Room Brawler. Still just like so many great hits out of this battle. The energy potion, fantastic. Love to stack it up. Things like Time to Tinker can develop into ridiculous builds. Like you can have all of the haste from the build like we have now, and then just put Harmadillo in and get him activating super fast. And so still just very, very powerful things that can come out of this round. Oh, is it going to be the Harmadillo time? When you haste, you get the 10 shields? It might be. It's very reasonable to say get rid of Race Carl and then fit Harmadillo in. Might be time to tinker, boys. Let's see. Let's take a look. And so what do we got? Income, tools, burn, cooldown, or sharpening stones. Let's just take the sharpening stones here. All right. Yeah, are we going to do it? Are we in? Like the Harmadillo is just not going to turn up now. that's the way life goes. But we got a bomb squad upgraded, a first Aiden upgrade. Not a bad set out of that. We just want to take small friend. Like if you're on poison, small friend is quite powerful, since things like pufferfish can turn up. But I don't think if we, like, what small friend would we want? I guess it could be like Chris Army Knife. Not even really impressed with him turning up. So let's just... The shield skills don't really combo with Time to Tinker. We don't have much money, though. Let's just take the small friend, see what turns up. Upgrade to Copper Ed. Guess we can't complain about that. Okay, well, I don't want to lose, so let's go ahead and start to stack up this Miss Isles. I'm trying to think if this ever turns into like a force field build, to where, like, we end up taking out Miss Isles. Race Carl would then be, say, a Harmadillo. And then out here to the right in this 3 space, we would have like force field. And then maybe we could like do something like this and then put Brick Buddy or something in the middle. I don't like playing the companion core and then using things that aren't a bunch of friends. Like having the 1 hex from Alpha Ray, not that bad. Taking 3 hexes for a force field on a companion core build, just not something I'm super interested in. Let's keep this like it was. I'm fine with this stack looking here. Keep the Omega Ray locked up. go ahead and put the crit on missiles. Okay. Alright, battle time. And I'm certain if it's just like too greedy to keep this Walter cooler around, we should probably just like pull Walter out and put the burn thing in. Yeah, this is where it gets scary, right? He's got Brick Buddy in here to really scale up on the shields. I don't think our weapons are going to be enough to outdo him. Missiles is putting in the work, though. A little bit too slow. Yeah. It's like the 5 HP Walter is not very exciting at this point. Alright, but let's check out the weapons. We got to upgrade to missiles. Saw that one roll in. I don't think we want to be going for Bulldozer. I'm already pretty happy with the setup that we have here, so we'll skip that. Hamlet, it's not his build today. And then, oh boy, the deadly force field. That's enough to make you stop and wonder, right? If that Harmadillo pivot is actually a thing, if the potential is there, just having this thing kick off with a 50% crit is pretty nutsos. And so we can afford it if we really want to. Ooh, that's tough. But the downside to like really investing in the deadly force field right now is like we sell 8 gold of stuff, right? Walter, Race Carl, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's like our whole bench, Walter and Race Carl, but then like we don't have any shield items to level it up. I guess the time to tinker counts a little bit as a shield item. Not entirely. And then the other downside to taking the force field is I feel like we can't use Alpha Ray at that point. And if we're not using Alpha Ray, well, I guess missiles would be coming out for the Harmadillo, but we wouldn't have any damage scaling on the Harmadillo. I think we just skip over this. Let's get out of there. All right, next set though. We're running out of money. Let's just go ahead and pick up the haste item. Maybe something cool will turn up. It's Cog, not really. Not really cool. could have been better, friend. And then I think we can fight Mod Squad. I know we can win, but Sabretooth has good skills. Very challenging to land on the skills, but he does the thing like I think he has Vengeance that puts the damage on your leftmost and rightmost weapon based on their cost. Something like that. But very, very strong options out of this round. All right, what you got, Fam Jam? Upgrade to First Aidin'. Can't complain about that. Level up as well. What do we got? Burn cooldowns, coconuts, friends, or silver tier item. So we can upgrade the companion core. It gets to the point to where upgrading the companion core doesn't really do anything, right? If we're going to have 3 seconds of haste on all of our units and everything has less than a 6-second cooldown, then getting that extra haste timing doesn't really do anything. So I'm not opposed to just leaving the core behind, but what are our other upgrades? Like I'm ready to give up on Walter. Would be a good upgrade on the Alpha Ray. I think like this is the path we're chasing down as the Alpha Ray stuff with the missiles and the Carl type things, and so looks to stick with it. Get out your Carl memes, boys. Get your cowboy hats on. Get your Walking Dead times out here. It's like Carl. You know that guy's fucking English? Not the kid. The dad. It fucking blew my mind. Like I didn't know who Rick Grimes was until the Walking Dead came out. And then if you go, it's holiday season now, right? So if you're gonna go and watch Love Actually, and fucking Rick Grimes turns up and he talks fucking English, it's always such a mindfuck when these English dudes come over and make American films and do American accents and stuff. The most wild one was Stringer Bell. Like Idris Elba was like such a wild ride watching The Wire and him being Stringer Bell, and then hearing him talk in his fucking English accent. You say, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? Stringer Bell. Oh my god. But Ooh, Love Actually. I haven't watched that one yet this year. I don't particularly enjoy it, but it's the season, and you gotta watch some stuff you don't want to watch. It's I'm sure it'll be up in no time. But what do we got here? Nothing. Nothing. Just burn stuff in the first set. Next set of small items. Beta Ray we can pick up. It's a thing that probably won't fit. It works great with the other cores, since the other cores want you to use like the left-right theme. You can just put the Beta Ray out to the left, but being on the friend core, it's not nearly as appealing. So what are we doing? We're going to keep the Beta Ray out. Walter can come out with that. We'll move the bomb squad over to get better activations. With the one slot left, I think that's where we want to be, right? We want to add in the Omega Ray, scale up the bomb squad a little bit. I guess the other option is adding in Copper Ed, which doesn't do much in terms of, he's really just like an activator, right? He's going to help us activate the companion core faster, as opposed to actually caring about the poison or caring about the shields. A few like 3-second charges on the companion core doesn't seem nearly as good as getting the extra ray activation. So we'll skip over that. We'll just keep the double ray. Maybe we should keep Beta Ray in here, right? I slipped that the Beta Ray activation does count for the Alpha Ray. I was kind of consider it's like, as we're going up to battle against Vanessa, most Vanessas don't care about their small item being frozen. Like, that's just a function of being within this patch, right? He doesn't really care if you freeze this single shot 9-second cooldown slowing Manta Ray. And so I didn't have high expectations for the Glacial Ray this round, but it does give those activations on the Omega Ray. Getting Carl and getting missiles up to 100 attack each isn't horrible. Okay. So what do we got now? Large items, docks, or non-weapon item. We'll hit up the docks. Probably just take weapons. I think, unfortunately, the ship has sailed on Dinosaur, as we haven't seen any dinosaurs, no lizards. Like, we could still, of course, pivot over to the lizard, but it just seems so late for that at this point. We'll just try to stick to our guns here with the red friends, if you will. But what do we got here? Weapon crit. When you crit, your shield items gain shield. We're not going to be using any shield items. Rightmost guy gets 5%, or leftmost gets 5%. We'll just put it on the weapons, get the 6% bonus. Now, this is an interesting round with the Zookeeper. The Zookeeper potentially passing out crooks, and that could definitely be something, right? If our build is 4 medium items, Alpha Ray, and then first Aiden, and then so it would be like Crook, Missiles, Companion Core, and Race Carl. Then the Missiles and Race Carl would be getting a bunch of flat attack power. Let's see what happens. I'm not certain we can beat that flame boss anyways at this point, but right, we got the Crook as a potential option here. Leeches is a friend. We could accidentally put Leeches in here. That lifesteal, not irrelevant. He's probably a bit of a too slow of a friend, though. The boring one, the spider turning up. All right, so we got EXP, damage, burn, tools, or value. We'll just take the damage on this, keep stacking up this missiles. Within this set, I think we could start going to the mountain pass and doing the battle zone. Escort the convoy. Yeah, I mean, we can definitely beat Dire Mosquito here. Let's go ahead and load this stuff up. We'll put Walter in. We don't need Bomb Squad at the moment. Still hang on to some of this poison stuff again. I don't think we're going to be switching to Lizard, but you show up at the shop and Icy Lizard turns up. You're gonna switch. Harmadillo is still the one that I'm interested in. Getting all of these shield hastes seems like it would be better than Race Carl. What do we got? When you use an adjacent weapon, slow. Like that is a pretty juicy build around kind of item with missiles, but to me, to use an item like Neural Toxin, we just have to give up on the raise, and I'm not certain if that's really in the cards here. We'll hang on to it for a moment and see what turns up. So next set, we have plenty of money now. Let's just go to the non-weapon items. We can start to dig in, start to roll. Don't want anything here. It's all burn stuff. Next set, more burn stuff and garbage. So much just pure garbage in the Dooley kit. All right, so we'll get the bomb squad back in. Don't want this other nonsense. We'll keep the beta ray, especially against a Dooley. All right, let's battle. TB Heimdall. That's Idris Elba, right? Isn't Heimdall the gatekeeper guy in the Thor movies, or in the MCU? I guess you could say, in the Marvel universe. Carries that big ass sword and mans the teleportation beam. Teleportation. We say teleportation. Nailed it. So, all right, good stuff. So what do we got here? Tools, docks, or shield item. Guess we can go to the docks and pick up a weapon. Oh, saw that 2 hex turn up and thought it was going to be our Harmadillo. But what do we got? Value, burn, tool, poison, shield. I guess we're still just taking poison. Not excited about it. I mean, I guess there is a real chance that, say, putting Copper Ed in, he just activates so much slower than Bomb Squad. Let's do this. We're never using Wallace. Neural Toxins kind of off the charts is something that we'll be doing. We can hit monster loot now. Of course, we want the 8 gold. Essentially just free. Hit 6% cooldown on everything, and ammo is always interesting, right? We don't need to ammo onto missiles, but so many just like super high-powered things that we can start to do with the gunpowder if a good ammo thing turns up. So in this next set, it's like poison. Treasure Turtle has like a bunch of shitty aquatic stuff that we don't want, but it's the most HPs. Things like Genie Lamp are okay. Hunker Down's not terrible. These gems sell for a bunch of gold. I think they sell for like 8 or 12. Still got our Walter Cooler in here giving us that 25 health per battle. Got to appreciate that. It does make me think, though, like as I watched the Reynad's Q&A, he was talking about, like one of the best spots that you can have your game be in is people are just complaining about balance, right? Everything about your game seems to be going fine. The mechanics are good. The game flow is good. Things are going well in that way. It's just the for whatever, the balance isn't there. The meta isn't where people want it to be. And I carry that sentiment. That sounds fine. But one of the big complaints you'll hear about the game is like the gumball shop, right? It's so annoying to have to go to the gumball shop. Why can't you just give me the gumball shop that just immediately does all 10 things? And it's like, that's a fantastic place for the state of the game to be, right? Just to be like this one like really shitty shop doesn't have like a super fun experience. It's just kind of mad. I have to do all the clicking. It's very repetitive to have to do and not that great. And it's like, if that's the greatest complaint that you can put together for the game, like the gumball shop isn't that good, then you're in a pretty fucking good spot. That sounds like a great place to be. So let's see here. Let's go into this medium item shop. Let's see what you got for us. There's the Harmadillo. We're just gonna make the switch, right? Race Carl is just worse. Let's be real. Like Race Carl's not cutting it. Armadillo's going to get the job done. And so whenever we haste, we get the shield. When we get the shield, the Armadillo is going to charge. And so it should just be popping off super, super fast with all these activations. And so fantastic. Glad we got that out of the way. I don't really think there's going to be too many other medium items. Dianosaur turns up. Do we end up going for Dianosaur here? Like, we could take out Walter, take out the Beta Ray, and then get the Dianosaur in the build. Like the thing with Dinosaur, this is what I was wanting to build around today. It works like fantastically in these lizard builds as you get into the Dooley mirrors, and it's able to chomp down some of the opposing Dooley items. You chomp down a ray, you chomp down just a small activator. It's a nice scaling bonus, and then he'll turn out to have like 300, 400 attack power at the end of the battle, and so he does take like reasonable chunks out of the opposing health. And so, I mean, I think this can work, right? We can pick up the Dinosaur. We'll just take out Walter. We'll put the Glacial Ray here. We gotta clean up like some space in here. We can take out the Glacial Ray. This is what life's all about. This is where the funds happen, right? The downside with taking the build in this direction is you don't get as many charges into the companion core. And so we'll have to kind of like watch ourselves to make sure it feels like we're getting enough hastes. Like the Dinosaur is the easy removal here. But you gotta like where this build is going, huh? This is going to good places. I like where we're at. What do we got now? Large shield items, no. When you slow, your weapons gain damage. Like something like slow and steady tied in with the proboscis thing, whatever we sold earlier. Not where the build is going to be. Poison and large items, right? So let's skip over these. But these are the kind of things I talk about when it's like, you know, in the previous video, I did a big aside in terms of what would potentially make the games feel like you're not just going for lizard every single game, and having things like burn containment show up earlier would be in that space, right? It's like we started this game out assuming that we were just going to go for the lizard and go for the dinosaur, but the time to tinker turned up, and that gave us the option to switch over to this red build, taking advantage of Harmadillo and stuff. And so I'm kind of curious if making these build around things turn up earlier would potentially, fix some of that stuff, or if it's just too high rolly. You find the burn containment, you're in the burn build, and then you're just digging for Harmadillo all day, and if it doesn't turn up, you lose. Like I'm not certain if it's too chicken or egg, but it just feels like whenever you go to these shops, say, we're in the mid game here, we're trying to transition to what our final build is going to look like, and it's just generic shit, right? Large item thing, like flat crit, and then medium shields. Like there's no real build around stuff in here. It's just like, okay, if we assume burn containment wasn't here, what would be the most generically good thing for our build? And it's like, well, flanking shots and standardized defenses just don't do anything with what we're doing. So I guess 2% crit on our dudes for 6 gold is worth it. But to where if we pick up burn containment, now we're like, well, if we find a burn enchant or a burn item, or if we put the Omega Ray back in the build, that does give us another angle to come in and start charging up this Harmadillo, right? If we take out the Dinosaur, maybe put a burn item in here or something, it gives us like real build around potential to maximize this Harmadillo to where this other stuff just keeps you down the path that you're currently going and you never pivot to anything. So we'll pick the burn thing. Who knows? We'll see how that plays out. With this round, I'm a little concerned that you push away too far from what your build is trying to do. But like once we get up and rolling, like the companion core seeing the Harmadillo activate, they should get a bunch of charges together. And so I think that this will be okay. It should be a nice cycle of fun that these are going to show. It's just a matter of getting that initial cycle started. We did get a freeze on our core, which is a bit annoying. But the magic's starting to happen there. The Harmadillo's popping off. Those charges are landing on the core. Managed to eat one item with the Dinosaur. It was a good one to eat too. He ate his friend, and it took the pulse rifle down from multicast 3 to normal attack. Good stuff. So what do we got? Tools, income, tool, core, cooldown, or damage. We're going to take this damage, start stacking it on the Harmadillo. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, we could find ourselves just trying to get rid of the missiles, but I don't know. She combos too well with this stuff. I don't think that's a thing. So we'll go to the shitty shop here. I guess it's probably worth 5 gold to get the extra 5 attack. We got to spend this money on something. Gumballs, not horrible here. I don't like gumballs when we can't hit all of them, right? When we don't have shields, the one gumball feels kind of shitty. But the only non-weapon item we can pick up is going to be First Aiden. I don't think that's going to work. Let's just take the slow thing. Maybe it'll be like a pylon and we can sell it for big money. Induction Aegis. Okay, fair enough. Into this next set. What do we got? Vehicles in the frigate? Do we have vehicles? No? No, we'll just fight the Robo Bouncer then. I don't think these turn up anything too interesting. The poison guy, the Halloween head, whatever he's called, he's got freezes last 1 second slower, but that's like a 10% chance to spike it. You can't really count on to where the XP here is guaranteed. Alright, good stuff. Pulse Rifle, don't need it. What do we got up next? So we got the guaranteed goodies out of the eating contest, or the shield stuff potentially out of Kev's armory. Like, I'm still not convinced we'll hang on to Dianosaur. Where do we land here? I'm just gonna sell the poison stuff. You know, you can't you can't be tempted by a lizard if you don't have any poison stuff. So let's just sell it. We can check out the armory. Maybe something. Shielded GPU is little interesting, right? It's a double combo. Triple combo. You triple stamp the double stamp with all the combos. it puts the haste on the core, which activates the time to tinker ability, makes the companion core activate faster, and then it also gives the shield for a Harmadillo activation. I don't hate it. And it does get us to this point to where we could just take the Dianosaur back out. It's too cheap to pass up, right? At four gold is not a bad deal for that thing. Now we got a monster battle. I like where the build stands. It's just we need to find something to get the haste up and running right at the start of the battle. Feels like it takes us a minute to actually get things up and running. I don't like that big delay before the magic really starts to happen. We got some statue, sure. So we got CDR, more CDR, max health, I don't mind, but yeah, we'll take the cooldown reduction on friends. Sounds good to me. And then up to battle with Vanessa. It's like, as we battle Vanessa, it's like, I don't know, the Dianosaur could do something, right? It can blow up like a silencer. It's hard to convince me that it's going to be good here. Just add back in like this. It is like less friends this way, though. I don't know. Maybe he'll impress us with something in here. You know, it's not going to be a 2-hex item in a crow's nest. It's going to be something that the Dianosaur can come in and eat. Okay, there's 2 items. He's got a lighter and a burn chompers. So maybe. You get to blow up one of them. We got the good one, I guess. Looks like the burn is still going to be enough to take us down, but it wasn't completely dead, huh? Yeah, I think I just want to get the Dianosaur out of here. Just maybe find some other friends to put in. So what do we got? Sells items. Harmadillo upgrade turns up. Can't complain about that. And the next set. Uh-oh. You just go full dinosaur, huh? You say, all right, we're gonna cut out the missiles, the Harmadillo. We're gonna put Mommy Soar in, and then we're gonna haste up the big dinosaurs as much as you can. I can't imagine that's a thing. I can't imagine that's the way to go. I am a little interested in something like Metronome, as we're able to just like chain off just this massive amount of hastes for the Harmadillo. Like maybe it's okay if we take the Dianosaur out, put in the shielded GPU and the Metronome, and just really stack up those hastes as fast as we can. I don't hate it.
How about this weather
It's not near. It's not. It's not what the people want to see. The people want to see the Dinosaur out here doing work, but I don't think it's gonna fit. This is the crab item I tried to mention earlier, right? When this gains haste, this and the weapon to the left of it gain 10 damage. Hey, I guess it puts us in the space to where we could start to take Alpha Ray out. It's not a friend, though. Don't want cool LEDs. Balloon Bot is little interesting and just giving us an additional shielder for the Harmadillo. It can stack those shields up pretty quick with the missiles popping off. Here, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna do this. sorry. We gotta get that dinosaur out of here. That's never gonna get us up to the wins we need. Now I'm thinking this is probably just the way to go about it. Is going to be something like metronome between the missiles and the companion core, and then just bouncing the metronome back and forth, picking up those hastes, popping off the Harmadillo, and then probably at that point we could replace the shielded GPU, right? The companion core is just going to be perma-hasted. It's not that spectacular with what the metronome is doing. Maybe we just put in Beta Ray at that point, so we get to level up the Alpha Ray faster. Okay, I don't hate it. We'll skip over the Balloon Bot. I don't think it gives us enough towards what we're trying to do. All right, we'll go to the big experience round now. It's coming together, right? It's doing stuff. Things are here. Things are happening. Things are fun. This Harmadillo needs to be insta-activating, though. Gotta get that bunker back out here and do the big Harmadillo things. Alright, what you got? Some poison nonsense. So upgrade your leftmost item. We don't need to, again, don't need to upgrade the companion core. Probably just want to upgrade the Alpha Ray. Get the max damage coming in from this thing. After that, could look to junk items, get the various upgrades on our weapons, but let's just try and get the actual weapon upgrades. I don't know. Maybe we should have just gone to junk and taken the guaranteed bonuses. All trash in here. Lizard turned up. Are we going lizard today? Is that something we're doing? Nope. All right, take the EXP and then up against Dooley. Gotta remember we still got that burn skill down there. I don't think we're gonna use it, but it's there. All right, some of this hot red item on red item action. Looks like we're starting to plow through. His shield core isn't keeping up with the damage output from our Harmadillo and co. Good stuff. 7 wins. Mark it a W. So what's up next? Non-weapon items, event, or change. We'll go to the event. Maybe it's a shop or a enchant. That's what we'd be really looking for here. Go to the dam. Take the dam against all of these Doolies. I don't think that's it today. What else we got? Piranha's not it. Ooh, a heavy piranha. This you probably shouldn't have like a heavy fish, right? It's just gonna sink and die. That sounds inappropriate. I don't know if I approve of that, but no, the Vanessa shop not doing it for us. Don't really want shield items here, so we'll just stack up the HPs with the chocolate bars. See what's up. We got EXP, friend, shields, tool cooldown, core cooldown. Take the core down. The core, I was gonna say, it's a big break point once you get it underneath that 5-second mark, right? From the way that charges work. I think this is accurate to say in the sense that, you know, if you're at 0.8 cooldown and you charge, that zero point 0.2 that remains doesn't go back to the bottom. It just hits the top and then the cooldown resets. And so it's very easy to like overcharge when they're at these kind of small breakpoints. And so if we get essentially with all of the charging that we're doing, the companion core at 5.2 seconds is essentially a 6-second cooldown, to where if you get it to like 4.9, then it would essentially be a 5-second cooldown. And so it's like you just assume that with however many times your companion core is getting blasted, that you're gonna hit that breakpoint barrier, that there's not really a ton of difference between a 5-second cooldown and a 5.9 second cooldown, but there is a massive, massive, massive difference between a 4.9 second and a 5. And so we will look to upgrade that a little bit. But here within this next set, the Awakened District is interesting. At this stage of the game, a very real chance that this just OTKs us. I guess we do get to pick up some shield, but I don't think we can get up to like 5k health. But let's try it. We are actually dealing legitimate damage, though. I kind of have in my head that we're doing like poison damage that doesn't break shields, to where like he's going to hit Skyscraper. We're going to break some of those shields down. We're still nowhere near. We're going to get 5k here. Okay. I thought we would have a shot at that. We should have just gone to the Alchemist out at the left. The other property's a problem thing as well. The middle guy was the Skyscraper thing. But all right, let's take weapons. Got a couple of big upgrades we could hit with these. Dianosaur says, "Bring me back. I'm here to party. I'm here for the fun." Unfortunately, not today. Race Carl returns as well. I'm sorry, friends. Maybe next time. Yeah, I'd see if we spike something interesting. Shielded flamethrower. I don't think that's it today. It's a interesting thing, right? But not today. All right, up against Pygmalion. These chocolate bars out of here. See what we can do. Probably still got to keep the, like, as I see some of these battles, and it's like when we're not battling Dooley, it's very tempting to take the Glacial Ray out. But yeah, he's got the fucking nonsense bird out here at the end. We'll just try and keep that perma-frozen if we can. Looks like he got to snatch off his freezes first. So I guess we're gonna just stay perma-frozen, but he's not actually dealing any damage. So I was hoping that once we like snapped off a freeze on the bird, the rest of our stuff would catch up. But it doesn't look like that's gonna be a thing. Bummer. He's got some combo in here, right? When you use an item shield. Alright. Well, that was fun, I guess. Alright, what location did we hit? Shield effects. Just another combo win with the Harmadillo. I think that... What does it do on Metronome? Is it whenever you use an adjacent item, you get the shield? We just want to... We don't care about the value of the shields, right? We care about the number of shield uses. And so I think if we put Metronome, it says that when you use the adjacent item, gain shield. And that should help us pop off with more of the time to tinkers, or more Harmadillo activations. Probably wrong, but that makes sense. That's that's what it should do. When you use an adjacent item. Yeah, good stuff. All right, so next set, let's take some freeze skills. Got the freeze on our mind after that previous battle. When you use a large item, oh, I thought it was rightmost item thing. So poison, large item, haste freeze, or burn freeze. We'll take the haste freeze out of this. With the next set, we sold off our Walter, so there's not a real compelling reason to fight the sparring partner. We have enough money at this point. So let's do battle with the weapons. Deadly balloon bot. Don't think you're the answer. I think this thing just seems bugged. When you lose shield, it gains damage equal to 20% of the shield. Seeing deadly items is always tempting, though. What's in this next set? Combat core and stuff? No, nothing on theme with what we want to do. Out of this set, probably just fight the big one. The Alchemist we're not going to use. The Trash Titan has some stuff, but he's mainly tied to large items, so we'll just go into this freeze round and take the guaranteed experience. See how fast we go now, though, with this metronome. It's a little harder to tell since the Harmadillo got frozen, but it just feels like it should be a lot of extra shield activations in here. Just like the big cycle, right? The shield activations do the charge on the Harmadillo activating faster is going to put charges on the core. Core activating faster is going to get more hastes. Just a big cycle of fun. Alright, though. Getting close to level 15 for an additional upgrade. But what do we got? Tools, loot items, income, shields, or cooldown. We'll just take the loot items out of this. Getting to the point to where they hit, you know, pretty much everything. What's this? Gold, EXP. We'll put the crit onto Harmadillo. That's fine. Take the gold tier skills. So is this upgrade? When you level up, upgrade bronze tier stuff. Not super interested in it. Burn shields we already have. When you burn haste, makes a little bit more interesting in terms of what we can do. Like maybe we do the, I should say like the beta ray for Omega Ray doesn't sound that spectacular because the Omega Ray just activates so slow. But I could see maybe pulling out Beta Ray and putting Bomb Squad in. So that Bomb Squad getting the charge activations. So the companion core activates, and then that lands on the Bomb Squad. The Bomb Squad burns for an amount that we don't care about, but the thing that we do care about with the burn is it activates our burn containment, right? So we burn, we gain shield, and then it would also activate letting off steam, which is another haste, which gives another shield, which gives another Harmadillo activation. Like the machine is grinding with this stuff. I think this is a reasonable place to go. Right, we take out the ray. I wonder. I wonder if the metronome is just better there. Maybe this is the way to do it. We put the metronome off the missiles, right? It was interesting on missiles because it activated twice. But now we can put those two activations on the bomb squad and then just keep our Harmadillo and our core hasted. It's tough for me to, like, you need a simulator to tell me which of these is better. It's too hard to envision in your brain if you're getting enough charges to where the haste is irrelevant, or if the charges activating super fast makes the metronome better just for the activations of time to tinker. I don't know. Some nerd would have to do the math on that. That's not my that's not my place to be. But a fairly weak shop. Let's pick up some bars. Go up to battle with old Dooley here. And so yeah, I think this is okay. Like again, you know, we've got decent cycles of things that we can do here. See where it lands. See how much poison that lizard brings out now that we're here on the 7 win mark. Ooh, he's got a chrono barrier as well. We can fight through that kind of okay since we do so much with charging. It's just a matter of getting the machine up and running. We popped off with a fair amount of burn, up to 300 burn or so at this point. Doesn't seem like our damage is scaling up enough to really fight it. Damn. Chrono barrier is quite good. So, not a bad set of battles. Didn't land exactly where I thought it was going to be. I was still hoping to do the Dinosaur Lizard build, but we found ourselves in an interesting place. And again, this is what I it hit on a lot of the marks that I think are interesting in terms of where the drafts can be going, right? Everyone says, "Oh boy, it's going to be it's a friend's Dooley. We're going to just see the lizard," and it's like, well, we got nice transitions out of that, right? We found a nice early to mid game package between the missiles and the Alpha Ray, getting that scaling attack power going up. That is a nice transition to, just finding the lizard and carrying on with it. But as we came on and found that time to tinker, when you haste, you get to shield 10, you know that you get to come in and then potentially build around some crazy stuff like the Harmadillo, right? Getting those nice cycles of abilities with the hastes coming out of the core, giving the shields coming in, boosting the Harmadillo activating fast, and then popping off the core again. And so it's exactly what I was trying to really kind of hone in on in the previous video, that like as some of these build around aspects turn up, they give you the chance to pivot over into other builds and do interesting things, as opposed to just being like, well, lizard is the best item in the game, I'm just going to go lizard every single game I have friend core, right? If we didn't have time to tinker turn up, that's exactly what this build would have done. We would have said, okay, well, missiles and Alpha Ray are gonna fall off. We have like 5 monster loot poison things in the backpack. As soon as we find that monitor lizard, we're just gonna put it down and give it up to 12 poison immediately and just kind of be off to the races, right? Like having access to things like time to tinker or access to burn containment, letting off steam, they let you kind of pop into different builds that really deviate away from the norm. And so, it's a bit unfortunate that we didn't get to carry this thing on farther. I wish it was, a little bit stronger to be able to do so. Maybe if we were able to maximize the order of our items within our bag, we could have been a little bit more successful. But I think this was a pretty cool build and a pretty cool way to go, even though we did get ourselves up to that 10-win mark. And so, good stuff. I had fun with that. Hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. And so if everyone enjoyed the video, hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way. You had a good time watching. This is Bust Me. Thank you for being here.